Been trying to do this video all day. It's just now I'm having another go, so let's hope this one works. Um, it's basically to send a message to those people that think it's right to get rid of all the benefits. And I hate using that word because it's not a benefit. It's part of a system that we paid into all our lives. The majority of people that claim it are paid into all their lives. And people are now saying that we shouldn't be alive and that we should be feeling guilty for taking money out of something we paid into, an insurance policy we paid into. Now, I certainly worked the majority of my life and I had a career and I loved my career. I had a good wage, I had good standing, I was good at my job. I helped people, I protected people, I saved people, and I had self-worth and I had meaning to my life. And at that time, I'd got my family around me as well. And then suddenly I got ill, and not straight away, over at least a decade. And when I got ill with diabetes first, and then around 1998, 99, I got Crohn's disease and heart issues. And then in 2016, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia because I was sat at work in front of a computer and my entire mind went blank. And I couldn't keep my eyes open and I couldn't move. And I got sent home from work and never worked again. And that was not a choice. That was not anything that I wanted to happen. And people think, oh, it's great, you know, you don't have to work, you could sit at home all day watching telly. Try it. It isn't fun. It's not something that you would want to do. It's certainly not something that I want to do. And oh, well, you could do all the other things that you wanted to do. Like what? I've got no strength. I've got no stamina anymore. I can't even read a book because I haven't got the concentration span to do it. I do drive legally. The DLA know all about my health issues. I ride a motorcycle legally. And actually ride my motorcycle because not only does it get me out and about occasionally, it's also on the instructions of the specialists. So all of you that go, oh, you can't be riding a motorbike if you've got a disability, tosh, you can. In fact, there's a national organisation called the National Association for Bikers with Disability. Have a look into them and then tell me that. And when you ride a bike, you're still moving your body a bit, and it means you're still keeping a little bit of flexibility that I can't get any other way. And when I ride my bike, I ride it to a destination and back from the destination. And if people watch me, they will see that I will get somewhere, walk to the nearest chair, sit down, and realistically only get up again to walk back to the bike and ride home. And that's my abilities right now. Oh, well, you could write your book. Can't write my book, same reason. Can't write my book because I haven't got the concentration span to do it, and I keep trying. and I write snippets and I write loads of politics, as everybody can see that. But the snippets, they're not big pieces because I can't concentrate, I lose track. And that was never me. I might lose interest in things because I'd be on to the next thing, but I wouldn't lose track like this. Today, I got up and I've got so many things that I wanted to do. I've got a friend that was going to come up and give me a hand, and we were going to do some maintenance and fix one of my motorbikes. I've got another motorbike needs fixing, and I've got a car that needs an MOT, and I can't do any of it. Today, I can't do bugger all. Yesterday, I couldn't do bugger all. The day before, I couldn't do bugger all. The day before that, I got out for 2 hours, 3 maybe, but only there and back. So, it's not really a life, is it? But that's all right, because I've read things on Facebook where people have put, oh, well, if they're disabled, we should just call them euthanasia, bring back euthanasia for anybody that's sick and disabled. And yeah, there are people that think that. Sadly, some of the people you're voting for think that. Now, the problem that I can see is that when I say we are you because any one of you can become sick, disabled, chronically ill. And it's not planned, it's not a choice, it's not something you wake up and go, I'm going to stop working now, it's going to be great, I can do this and I can do that. Even people that retire with good pensions don't enjoy it. People that retire and have got the money to do things still miss work, miss the careers, miss the meaning for being them. Imagine doing that and having to just survive. And yeah, I've got bikes. I've got bikes because I got the bikes before I got ill or with the help of other people. And it's that simple. I don't drink excessively. I do have a pint every now and then. Don't smoke. I gave up when my daughter asked me to do so, and I stopped smoking after 30 years of smoking, 30 a day minimum. And I just stopped because she'd asked me to stop. Not that that had happened now, because she won't speak to me anymore. Neither will my son, because they've got nothing to be proud of anymore. Their dad is just a disabled, useless. I'm trying to think of the word the mum used. Let's put it this way, it wasn't very pleasant. And that's how, in a lot of ways, I see myself. I wake up in the mornings struggling to find reason to be here. And I have got reason to be here. There are people that depend on me and people that I depend upon. And I know that, and that's why I'm still here. But for that, I wouldn't. If it wasn't for that, I'd have gone. I'd have gone years ago. And now, society, people, sadly, like some of those watching this, if people do watch it, want me gone. They want me gone because they see me as a drain on society. They don't see giving 260 billion to Ukraine for war as a drain. They don't see spending another 260 billion on nuclear weapons as a drain. Nuclear weapons that we can't even use because all the codes are held by America. And realistically, the only people that would ever threaten us with nuclear weapons are America. So they're all right. Sending aid to countries that don't require aid, not because they need the aid, but because by sending that aid, friends of people in our government will make money on contracts that will be made available because we have sent them aid. And by the way, that aid rarely gets to the people it needs to get to. It gets to the officials that intercept it and divert it to them. That's how our society works. Britain is one of the few nations where it is actually legal to bribe a politician. They call it lobbying. And it's legal to offer them bribes. Is it wonder that they're all corrupt? And if you say they're not, try and give me a list of 10 that aren't. There might be odd ones or two that still have got moral principles, and I know there are some. But show me one of those with moral principles that's not already a millionaire. Not many. Anyway, there's not a lot we can do about that. If I had my way, we'd get rid of all politicians and we would have a system where people are picked to vote at random. And there's no political parties, there's no lobbying, there's no bribery, there's no corruption. And anybody that is corrupt or bribes anybody spends the rest of their lives in prison. That's what should be the case. The thing we call democracy doesn't exist. But anyway, I'm getting away from what I'm talking about today. So, all right, say you're one of the lucky ones that never gets chronically ill, sick, or disabled. Well, I'll be all right then, won't I? I could retire in 10 years and I'll be fine. Well, you might be able to retire in 10 years if you've got a good pension, but bearing in mind that pensions can collapse within a few months, never mind 10 years. So you might have £1 million pension now. In 2 or 3 months, it might be worth absolutely zero. It depends what they've invested in. And we know how easy it is for the markets to collapse. They've happened in huge ways with the Great Depression in the 1920s and things like that. And they've happened to companies, things like Ratner's Jewelers when he made that stupid comment about selling shit. And his business collapsed overnight because he lost all trust. And at the moment, a lot of pensions are investing in war, in weapons, in military. Is that where you want your pension money to be made? From killing people? From making murderers rich? Not really me. But again, digressing. So let's look at it again as in, well, I'm not going to get ill and my pension's safe, so I'm all right, Jack. Yeah, okay. But have you thought about AI? No? Well, have a think about AI. You've all seen what amazing things AI can do. There's movies now on YouTube that are AI films. There's not a human actor involved whatsoever, and you can't tell them apart from human beings. They're ridiculous. the special effects make anything that Star Wars attempted look archaic. And that isn't all AI does. AI can become your accountant, it can become your lawyer, it can become your doctor, it can even become your surgeon. True. It can become your anaesthetist. At the moment, it can't really become your nurse completely, but it can do a lot of the nursing tasks. It can certainly back up nurses or get rid of qualified nurses and just have people that can do the basics when told to do it. Not that they're any less valuable than the nurses, because they're not. And it can hoover warehouses, so you don't need somebody brushing up. It can work machinery. It can run an ad campaign. It can invest in your shares. It can run your armed forces. Although it does have a problem because it tends to see human beings as a threat to the planet and starts targeting us. Bizarre, isn't it? Terminator was right. But anyway, so we have AI coming along. So your nice little job, well, it's safe and secure. I'm a builder. I'm all right. I'm a builder. Yeah, you're all right at the minute until you look on AliExpress and you look at prefabricated buildings that can be put up in 2 days and are unbelievably cheap. And you can import them for nothing. And all you need is the land to put them on, and you have got a home for life. Yeah, your building's not that secure, is it? And when government catch on to that and local authorities, that they can build prefabs, bearing in mind they did get bitten in the bum in the 1940s and 50s with prefabs because they were using technology that included quite noxious substances, and that's why they kind of failed, wasn't it? But now they can build a house that is almost self-sufficient. Not that they want to do that, because if they do that, then their mates that have got shares in the energy companies and water companies and all of them don't make as much profit. So at the moment, they're not really concentrating on that, are they? No. So, I'm all right. I drive a truck. Yeah, you're not, are you? You're not all right because they've now got self-driving trucks, and they might not be perfect yet, but within 10 years they will be. And even the people loading those trucks won't be required. They'll be able to automate all of that. So your job's down the pit, isn't it? Oh, down the pit. Yeah. Sorry, we haven't got a mining industry because Thatcher killed that off, didn't she? A bit of floor spar and stuff like that still. That's about it, really, isn't it? And so I can't really see that there's that many jobs that are safe. I'm a taxi driver. I'm a delivery driver. Again, AI. Shame, innit? So you're voting and demanding that they get rid of these safety nets that we've all paid into all our lives. And it kind of brings to mind either lemmings or turkeys voting for Christmas. I'm surprised that people don't see that. I'm surprised that people don't understand that by picking the enemies that you are told to pick, you're actually eventually picking yourselves. And saying, oh, well, we need to cull all the disabled people, get rid of them, let's bring back euthanasia. How long till it's unemployed? And how long till you're unemployed? How long till it's the retired, people on pensions, people on state pension first, but then people on pensions that are costing other people money, that are reducing profits for the people that have already got money. The one thing that being chronically ill has given me is time to think about what's really going on in this world. And some of the things that I'm realizing now are happening. 10 years ago, if somebody had said it to me, I'd have called them a conspiracy nut, and I'd have said, oh, you need to have a colander on your head with a bit of tinfoil. But sadly, it's kind of true. I went, and I've told people this before, and if you watch this video, I'm sorry, but I went to the last ever Queen's Garden party for Elizabeth II, not the first. I know I look old, but not that quite that old. And she didn't attend because she was too ill, but Princess Anne was there and Kate. And there were the diplomatic corps. And the diplomatic corps were these peacocks all dressed in morning suits in a penned off area with like red cord barriers. And they were supposed to be the go-betweens between the royals and us. And all they could do was go, oh, and what did you have for breakfast? That was the only question I heard them ask anybody, time and time and time again. And on that day, there were generals and admirals and air marshals wandering around with very young, flimsy clad women stuck to their arms. And they may have been the wives. They certainly didn't look as if they were, but how am I to know? I don't think they were the daughters, the way they were handling them. And there was that fabulous Cressida Dick, the chief constable of the Met, just after she'd been sacked, actually, for not investigating Boris. And she was there in full dress uniform. And I walked up to her, and she's only little, and I kind of bent down and I went, oh, so they'll let any scum in here, will they? She didn't really reply, but she did follow me around for a while afterwards. I met who I believe was either the Japanese or the South Korean ambassador and his wife, and they were fabulous. They were really, really lovely. They were dead down to earth. They spoke with respect to us, and I spoke with respect to them. I spoke to the Queen's former butler, who was absolutely hammered out of his head, and tried to ingratiate the Queen to us by telling us all kinds of stories about her. It didn't ingratiate her. It showed what an actual vile, cruel, nasty woman she really was. And you could say don't speak ill of the dead, but you kind of have to speak truth about the dead sometimes. So, while I was there, what it really did was, and I've told people this before as well, it showed me who our true enemies are. And they're not the sick and disabled. They're not even the people that you claim are coming en masse in boats to invade Britain. And I will do a video about that at some point, but not today. We are not your enemies. We are you. If you vote to take away all the security from the most vulnerable people in our society, I guarantee within 10 years, at the most, you will be a vulnerable person in our society, and then you will have nothing. And if that's your choice, so be it. And if you want to try and cull the disabled, come and try and cull me. I'll be waiting.